Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. This is your latest Manchester United news and transfer news as we are talking AUBAMEYANG, MEMPHIS, who else? Osman, Ronaldo, Jong, Antony, Dubravka, Martinez. There's loads to get into this morning. I'm sure you've seen all the headlines. But first of all, it was nice yesterday just to get the result out of the way, wasn't it? Get the result out of the way, enjoy the rest of the Saturday. I know everybody else won, but look, I think that's a good result yesterday. A lot of moaning. I was on TalkSport last night. If anyone tuned in, thank you very much. The Goldbridge show had a Southampton fan call in and say that they were very unlucky. I don't disagree. I thought Southampton, if they'd had the quality of players that we had, might have been a different game. We didn't attack well. We didn't create many chances, but I thought we defended well. And how long is it? It's so long since we've said we've defended well and earned a result off defence. And we've done that twice in a row now. So very, very happy about that. We maybe come back to that in a little bit. But let's get into the transfer news because yesterday was about the game and today and the next few days are about transfers. Remember, Manchester United actually playing Leicester on transfer deadline day, which should suggest that Manchester United need to get their business done early. It's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm not telling you days of the week. I'm telling you that transfer deadline day is Thursday. 4 days to go. We're going to talk about Antony, but let's talk about the title, Memphis and AUBAMEYANG bid. Now, this is coming in from Fabrizio Romano that Manchester United have actually inquired about both these players. Manchester United asked about the information of AUBAMEYANG. It's true, but his priority is Chelsea. So Manchester United have actually inquired about AUBAMEYANG, but as many of us would predict, his priority is Chelsea. I mean, AUBAMEYANG's better than Rashford up front. I don't understand. Look, Marcus Rashford yesterday may as well put me up front. I don't think there'd have been any difference. And that's no slight on Rashford. He's not a centre forward. He's just scored a goal from the left wing. His confidence is up, and he plays through the middle. Now, I don't know whether that was design or necessity or demand. I don't know whether Rashford thinks he's a forward. I don't know whether Ten Hag had to play him as a forward because he had nobody else, or it was a tactical thing. But, you know, we've been waiting nearly 2 years for Rashford to have a good game. He has a good game for Man United off the left wing, and we put him up front, and he gets absolutely dominated. I thought Martinez was fantastic yesterday, but I also thought Bolakachuk was good for Southampton. He's a player to watch. I thought he was fantastic for them. He dominated Rashford. Rashford needs to go to the left. So if I would, of course I would take AUBAMEYANG over that. I don't want AUBAMEYANG. I'm not saying I want AUBAMEYANG, but what I am saying is that I would take AUBAMEYANG over what we have at the moment, which is a circus around Ronaldo, which we'll get into in a couple of minutes, an injured Martial, and, you know, Rashford or who else up front. So of course I would take AUBAMEYANG. It's pure desperation and it reflects badly on the Glazers again, but of course I would take AUBAMEYANG. We're in that street now. We're walking, you know, basically we're starving. We're starving up front, and it's like walking into a, you know, I don't know, Pret a Manger or Tesco, whatever, Greggs, and, you don't really like ham, but the ham roll is all they've got. And I think you've just got to grab it and take it. So, of course I would take AUBAMEYANG, but I think he'd prefer Chelsea, which then leaves us on to another club. I mean, I've got to say, I'm very embarrassed by Manchester United. We've spent all summer chasing De Jong and trying to play hardball on the De Jong with Barcelona. That's failed, and now we're going to Barcelona and helping them out. Helping them actually keep De Jong by taking the players they don't want. It's just, I cannot explain how low our reputation is in world football in relation to transfers. It was always pretty low. It's very, very low now. I mean, we want De Jong and we're going to wait all summer and we're really confident we don't get De Jong. Can we give you a bit more money to help you keep De Jong and we'll take Memphis? This laugh is in Spanish, by the way. Look at United. They've spent all summer telling us they're going to take De Jong from us, and because we're desperate for money, and they've agreed a fee with us because we're desperate for money. De Jong's taken a pay cut to stay, and now they're giving us money to help us pay De Jong by taking crap that we don't want. That's where Barcelona are. Now, I'm not saying AUBAMEYANG and Memphis are crap. We're desperate. I would take both players right here, right now, on the 28th of August with 3-4 days left in the transfer window. Of course I would take AUBAMEYANG or Memphis, but it doesn't hide away from the fact that this summer transfer window, conducted by the Glazers and run by Arnold and Murta, is an absolute shambles, and nobody should be letting that get away. We are going to unveil at Antony at some point this week, but that does not rescue what is a shambolic transfer window. And as much as I want Antony, and as much as you want Antony, and as much as Ten Hag wants Antony, he should have been in 2 months ago, and we should have been paying 30, 40 million pounds less than we're playing. So look, good signing. It's a bit like United winning yesterday. I want United to win. I want Ten Hag to do well. But the way the club's being run is a disgrace. Why are we talking about the likes of Aubameyang and Depay? There's a reason Barca don't want them anymore. We can't be feeding their leftovers. Well, we will do, Ams. And Mark, we were poor yesterday. If Ollie picked McTominay over Casemiro, would you still be so calm? Glazers out, says Matt Key. Well, we'll come back to some of the key fundamentals of the match yesterday, because I want to talk about the Martinez bias, to be honest with you. But sticking with the transfer stuff, so there has been some contacts between Memphis Depay's camp and Manchester United to explore the situation. As we understand it, there is conversations, but it's not close. Memphis was meant to be going to Juventus, but it fell through. There are conversations, but it's not deemed to be close between Manchester United and Memphis at the moment. Look, beggars can't be choosers. We are in a position now where we have to get forwards in, and we have to do it in 4 days. And I would say, knowing the way Manchester United work, I can't see a left field signing. And what I mean by that is I can't see us going and getting somebody surprising now. I think we're definitely in the category of this player that we're going to get. We're going to know. We're going to know it. And whether it's an Aubameyang or a Memphis, an Antony or a Gakpo, I think we're going to have to get 2 of those 4 players. And I think we probably will get 2 of those 4 players unless there's a real surprise. So look, yeah, I mean, I don't want Memphis Depay. I like the player, I really, really do, but I don't want Memphis Depay because I don't want to give Barcelona money when they've mugged us off. I also don't really want to be taking players that Barcelona don't want. Barcelona are not a big player in the world scene at the moment. They haven't been for a few years. Maybe they will be this season, but they haven't been. We're taking cast-offs that Barcelona don't want, and I don't think it's a good move. I also think the media will destroy Memphis again like they did last time. He might destroy himself. Maybe he's matured. I don't know. But above all that, I do like the player. I've always quite liked the player. And if it's a choice between nobody and him, you've got to do it. But then we're back where we shouldn't be. It frustrates me. And I sort of want to park my like for Memphis because it's not his fault. It's the same as Antony. I like Antony. I want to sign Antony. But it's the club. It's the way the club is run. It really irritates me. It's so we don't change. Woodward's gone. Matt Judge is gone. And we're still doing the same things. And you know what the constant is? It's the Glazers. Again, I was on Talksport Sport last night and I had a caller, I think it was a Liverpool fan, and he was sort of having a pop at United and he was saying, you can't blame it all on the Glazers. And I was like, well, you can do, because they do run this club. Day to day, they are sticking their nose in. We do have to get everything signed off from America. So I think that's why we're not getting any change. It's why every summer transfer window or January transfer window, we're always late doing things. There's always a desperation deal with United. You can set your watch to it. Every transfer window, in the last few days of the window, we'll be scrapping around for something desperate. Man City aren't doing this. Liverpool aren't doing this. They're not doing this because they've got their key business done. Haaland has been in for ages. Nunez has been in for ages. We're just so bad at transfers, and we're just so bad at being run. Jitin, welcome to the Members Club. So let's wait and see what happens with the attacking situation. What I would say is that we will end up getting a forward, and whoever it is at the moment. I mean, even if we went in for that Kaladzic from Stuttgart, it's still definition of desperation because of how late it is. So yeah, we'll see. Also, just another update from Fabrizio in relation to Antony. I'm sure United will be insisting in the next 24 to 48 hours for Antony. They're still there and Antony wants to join. It's still under discussion. It's still open. Ajax have not given positive signals so far, but negotiation is open. I mean, at the end of the day, if the Antony deal doesn't... I'm sort of like now... I can't even think of how to explain this. I do want Antony at United. We're desperate for Antony. I mean, anyone who watched the game yesterday, Rashford through the middle doesn't work, but Antony doesn't solve that. Elanga off the right, I mean, he is not ready. And I'm a big fan of Elanga, and I don't like it when young players get criticised. He's been thrown in at the deep end by Rangnick because there's a story about Elanga which I don't think gets told enough. Elanga is starting games for United now for the same reasons he started under Rangnick. He's not starting because he's a superstar from the youth setup. He's a good player and he's an exciting talent, but he's not what Mason Greenwood was, and he is not what Marcus Rashford did. He is not a player that's come into the first team because of an amazing record or talent. He is a talented player who is not ready. Rangnick played him because he had an injury crisis. Greenwood was arrested, Cavani was injured, Rashford was out of form. He wasn't allowed to buy anybody, so he used Elanga. Ten Hag is doing the same. He's got nobody else. Like, Martial's injured. He won't start Ronaldo for whatever reason, so he's starting Elanga in the last 2 games. And he's not played very well. And he didn't play very well at the end of last season either. I feel bad for Elanga because he's basically being hung out to dry. Like, we're using him because we've got nobody else. He should be, in my opinion, in the Championship, learning his trade. He should not be starting games for United being exposed as not being ready. He's not ready. So I like Elanga, but he's not ready. And I feel bad for him. And I don't like it when I see people saying, oh, he's rubbish, this, that and the other. He's been over-promoted, basically. He's not ready for that situation. He should be on loan somewhere, learning his trade. So it comes back to this Antony situation, and that's why we need to get Antony in. But I'll be honest with you, when Antony signs, if they think they're breaking the internet with that, jog on. Like, this is a worse deal than Casemiro. And I like the player, and Ten Hag should get the player. But if they think we're meant to applaud United for doing this deal, it's an absolute embarrassment. An absolute embarrassment. Ajax are holding out for what they said last week. They want 100 million euros, and they want to be able to say, we didn't want to sell him, but we got 100 million euros. We've broken the Eredivisie transfer record. We've took it to 100 million for the first time. And United will go, yeah, we got Antony. But the rest of the footballing world will go, you mugs. You absolute mugs. You've been mugged off by the whole world. You've just broken the Eredivisie transfer record by a massive amount for Antony, who's not worth 100 million euros. You absolute mugs. And I think most of our fan base will think that as well. But again, you've got to compartmentalise this. Ten Hag, Antony, thumbs up, welcome to the club, let's get on with the job. The transfer and the way we've done it, absolute shite. Rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. It's embarrassing. We've been absolutely screwed over by Ajax for the second time this summer. And look, Martinez, amazing player, but we did overpay for him. And Antony might work out being the same. But it'll be despite the way this club's run, not because of it. And let's not forget, Ten Hag wanted Antony back in May. Morning, Mark. Excellent show on TalkSport, mate. Will there be a fee for Depay, says Mikael Roach. Oh, yeah, we'll end up paying, definitely. Don't let up. Glazer's out now, says Butterpants. Heard Martial is being offered a new contract. I don't know how I feel about that, but Ten Hag's decision, so I'm okay. Must believe in himself to get the best out of Antony, says Sharath Math Fitness. And Jitten, welcome to the Members Club. Yeah, you know what? Let's just wander off for a moment, because I don't understand where this Antony Martial transfer contract is coming from. He's not even one of the players who's out of contract soon. His contract runs till 2024, and we've got the option of another year. So I don't know where this is coming from. We don't need to give Antony Martial a new contract. I don't know where it's got. I genuinely don't. It's not coming from anywhere credible. That's for sure. Yeah, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. No way. Are we going to give Antony Martial a new contract? For 2 reasons. 1, he's got 2 years left on his deal. For 3 reasons, actually. 2, he's already on about 250 grand a week. And 3, he's never fit. He's missed 3 of our first 4 games. So that's complete nonsense. I don't know where that's come from. To me, that's just pure troublemaking in the fan base. I don't know where that's come from. You just wouldn't give Antony Martial a new contract at the moment, would you? Absolutely not. No way. I can't discuss it in any depth because I don't know where it's coming from. But I've not heard anything about that. It doesn't make any sense at all. So yeah, I think Antony will sign. Before we move on to Ronaldo and Osman, with regards to Antony. I predicted this on, was it Thursday or Friday night? We were talking about this and we were trying to understand what would happen next. Oh, it was Friday night, wasn't it? Because we got the bid rejected. So we were talking about it on the Friday night show, saying what do we think will happen next? And we were discussing it. And generally, I think most of us agreed that what would happen is that this deal would go to Monday, maybe Tuesday, because both Ajax play today, we played yesterday. Ajax are going to be very angry about the public interview that Antony did with Romano. So I'm pretty sure that this deal will happen, but Man United are going to have to pay what Ajax want. And I think Ajax will be just saying, pay us what we want. And that's what Manchester United are going to have to do. So we will see what happens with Antony. I fully expect him to come to Manchester United for the fee. Any news about De Jong, says Furhat? Yes. The only news I can bring you about Frankie De Jong is that this Liverpool story is not as advanced as some people would like it to be. Some people are saying that Liverpool haven't even held any talks about De Jong from Barcelona. Look, as I say with Frankie De Jong, I don't think the story is over yet. I think until the window's shut, Man United will keep the door open. It's looking increasingly unlikely. I think United are trying to deflect. I don't know whether you feel this. I think United are trying to deflect and pretend they were never in for De Jong. It's almost like that didn't happen. Let's move on from it, which is just typical United tactics. So it's looking unlikely that United will get De Jong, but I don't think you can say it's over. With regards to Liverpool, they want a midfielder, so I think De Jong's been mentioned. But I spoke to a few Liverpool fans about this, and I just don't see how you do this deal. Like, you'll still have to pay 70 million, because that's the fee that Barcelona want, and you'll have to pay him 350 grand a week. Now, I've had Liverpool fans saying to me, I will take a pay cut to come to us. If he takes a pay cut to come to you, he can stay at Barcelona where he wants to stay. You've got to pay him the big wages, because that's the whole point of the move. The only reason De Jong would leave Barcelona is because Barcelona don't want to pay his wages anymore. If he takes a pay cut, he can stay at Barcelona. So if Liverpool want him, they'll have to pay the wages. But apparently there's nothing in it. Being out of Champions League is why we're going to have to pay 100 million, says Ray. And Butterpants says, as an American, the Glazers spit in the face of everything we stand for. This is not how we do things. Glazers out, get out of the club, says Butterpants. And big shout out to the away support yesterday. I think we've got the best away support in the Premier League by a very long way anyway. Whether you agree with them or not, I've heard them singing for David Moyes, Van Gaal, Ollie, Mourinho. When they know that those managers should be sacked, they still sing and chant and support. I thought they were great last year at the end of the season when they were telling the players they weren't fit to wear the shirt. And the Glazers Out songs yesterday at Southampton were audible to everybody. So, yeah, fantastic work again. Luke says, have you been drinking last night? Sounded a bit croaky this morning. Not, anyway, cracking talk show. No, Luke, that's why I'm a bit croaky this. I didn't have any alcohol last night. I was very busy. I did United stand, then I did That's Football 3 o'clock, which were amazing, and then I was on Talk Sport. So the throat is probably just a bit tired, to be honest with you. Can I say hi to Johan? Yes, I can. Let's stick with the attacking options, though, because I want to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo. Another report coming out from Italy that Manchester United are ready to offer Ronaldo and 100 million euros for Osimhen. Now, I think Napoli would snap that up straight away, but where's this money coming from then? So we're going to spend £200 million in the next 2 days. We're going to buy Osimhen and Antony. It's just not going to happen. And I can't get excited or even really discuss this in any depth, because Osimhen would be a really good player to bring to United, but that was a write-off in May. He's not been at Napoli very long. They spent 70 million on him and he's done well. They will want 100 million and he's on a long contract. That puts us out straight away. Eredivisie window closes on Wednesday. Yes, it does, Burhan. That's a very good point. But I think Man United won't be doing anything on transfer deadline day. I can't, unless Ten Hag says, get me Memphis, I'm off to Leicester. We're playing Leicester on transfer deadline day. If you're going to do business, Ten Hag has to be focused on Leicester. So you've got to get it done by Wednesday, because he can't be taking phone calls about, oh, we can get you Rondon from Everton. Like, oh, Igalo's interested again. We can't be doing stuff like that without the manager. So I think that transfer deadline for Wednesday night is probably a good thing for us, because we've got a match on Thursday. And again, it's a must-win match for Leicester and us. So, yeah, we need to be focused on that. With regards to Ronaldo, I said it. I said it on Talk Sport, but this is the United stand, so I'll say it here again. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed by the Cristiano Ronaldo situation. He is our player of the year. He is a guy that will score us 20 Premier League goals if we pick him, and he is just a side part at the moment. I think that United and Ronaldo and Ten Hag have basically said, you can go, but we've left it too late, and it's just become a circus. I said this yesterday. The last 2 games, I'm sat doing the watch-along, and I've got the screen on, and I can see Ronaldo creeping up behind Gary Neville for a handshake and Roy Keane and snubbing Carragher. That goes viral. Then you've got Ferdinand and Scholes on BT, and he's squirting water at Rio Ferdinand's suede shoes. This is one of the greatest footballers that ever played, and we've reduced him to little cameos before a game because he's sat on the bench. I've not got a problem with him being on the bench, by the way. Ten Hag has to pick the team. Ronaldo should have started yesterday. I can't see how we could have been any worse with Ronaldo playing through the middle. The long balls over the top to Rashford just didn't work. I still maybe we would have won the game 2-0 with Ronaldo in the team. I don't know, but we wouldn't have been any worse because up front we were terrible yesterday. The defence in the midfield was decent, but the up front, I mean, Ronaldo scored no goals this season because he's not had any chances. He's either been on the bench or when he comes on, nothing's happening. Rashford yesterday, I can't remember one shot. One shot. In fact, I can't remember one for Ronaldo either. So in 90 minutes, our number 9 or 10 or whatever you want to call them, our striker had no opportunities against Southampton. That's that. When we're not creating enough chances again, are we? So, look, I'm a massive fan of Ronaldo. I'm always going to be. He's a legend of the club and he's a legend of the game. But this circus has to stop. Like last night, we're hearing again, and I wonder where it comes from, that, you know, we're hearing the same old nonsense again. There's been a fallout, there's this, Ronaldo, that, you know. And I'm like, look, we all know how this club works, and we know what you're trying to do. You're trying to put these stories out again that Ronaldo's toxic and this, that, and the other, so that fans go, get out of our club. Basically, and I blame the Glazers again, we've got owners who are mercenary owners who bleed us dry for money. And they're allowing stories to go out against a club legend so that they can justify letting him go in the last few days of the transfer window because he's toxic. I tell you what, that's the thing to get your head around here. Do you want to believe these stories that are probably coming from the Glazers about Ronaldo, or do you want to believe that Ronaldo wants to leave because the club's on its knees and it's being run like a circus? That's what you want to believe. But what I believe is that this is a circus, and we shouldn't be going into games with Cristiano Ronaldo sat on the bench. He should be playing. And if he's not going to play, we should have sold him. And if we were going to sell him, we should have done it a month ago. Because you can't be doing these things. Whatever you think about Ronaldo, it's like what I think about Memphis. I don't really want Memphis or Aubameyang, but with 4 days to go, beggars can't be choosers. It's got to be better than trying to get a Garlo back. So, of course I'd take Memphis and Aubameyang, but that's because we're desperate. And it's the same thing applies to Ronaldo. Like, we should not be letting Ronaldo go with 4 days to go. If we knew this was happening, this should have happened a month ago and given us time to do something about it. But I was 50-50 about Ronaldo going. I think I'm probably 60-40 that he will go now. But letting a player like that go with 4 days to go, look, take the emotion out of it, which is difficult for me, so it must be difficult for you. Take the emotion out of it. What football club lets their player of the year and best source of goals go with 4 days of the window to left and replaces him with Aubameyang or Memphis? Like, there's a visible drop off between Ronaldo and Memphis and Aubameyang. Of course there is. It's just talent. We shouldn't be doing this with 4 days to go. And again, we've been mugged off because if Ronaldo goes, he gets what he wants right at the end of the window, and we have to do something desperate. It's just, we lose. Again, we're going to lose to Ajax on how much we pay for Antony. We're going to lose to Barcelona on Jong, and we're going to lose to Mendes and Ronaldo because they're going to get what they want right at the end of the window, and we're going to have to do something desperate. And this derails anything that we're trying to do. Glazers on the board are terrible at selling and buying, negotiating, unfollowed United on social media and not buying merchandise, says Mehdi. Well, that's a personal choice, as I say. If you want to really get the Glazers out, financially is how you hurt them. And I still am not seeing enough organisation around that. And I think that is the way to get the Glazers out. If Antony arrives, does Ronaldo start? He could be the spark that creates more chances and Ronaldo could eat them up, says Lil. Well, we don't know at the moment. I mean, look, I think the big thing yesterday was whether Casemiro should have started. And actually, we still won the game without him. Ronaldo, I said at the time, I would start Ronaldo, but if he's going to get sold next week, why would you start him? If you know Ronaldo's going next week, why would you start him? And that's where I've changed a little bit. I think that we're going to sell him because the Rashford experiment, the Rashford and Elanga thing yesterday was ridiculous. And I don't care who you are. Sancho off the left. I mean, we moved Sancho from the right to the left. We put Elanga on the right and we put Rashford up front. No wonder we were disjointed up front yesterday. Sancho plays well off the right against Liverpool. Rashford plays well off the left against Liverpool. And obviously Martial in the second half was really good up front. We move Sancho from the right to the left. We move Rashford up front and we put Elanga on the right. You're telling me that front three that didn't work was better for us than Ronaldo through the middle, Rashford on the left and Sancho through the right? It was illogical not to start Ronaldo yesterday unless he's being sold. Because if he's being sold, why would you start him? You've got to start looking at other options. So I think it was a big hint yesterday that Ronaldo's going. I also think that Ronaldo's demeanour is a big hint that he's going. He was quite relaxed before the game, being on the bench. He was joking and all that lot. He was the same against Liverpool. I think he knows he's going to get the move that he wants, and I think that's why he's not starting games for United, but we'll see. Should Antony leave with 4 days to go? I think he will, not sure, and I'd prefer not to sign AUBAMEYANG or Depay, another player on high wages on a few years' contract, says Mock. What I will say is, if Ronaldo does go, Antony's not enough. You're still in the same position. If you've only got Antony, Rashford, Sancho, Elanga, and Martial, that's not enough. Martial's injured, Elanga's not good enough. You've only got 3 players. Yesterday, I really felt that when we took Elanga off and brought Ronaldo on, we needed to take Rashford off and bring another forward on, but we didn't have one. All right, you got Garnacho, but it's a bit difficult to throw him in. So I think this week, if Ronaldo stays, Antony, okay, I still like another one. If Ronaldo goes, you've got to get Antony and Gakpo, or you've got to get Antony and Memphis. I mean, really, we should be buying Gakpo, by the way. And I was told this on Friday that Ten Hag wants Antony and Gakpo. The reason they'll go for Memphis or AUBAMEYANG is because they're cheap, and Gakpo costs more money, so that's why we'll go for Memphis. But apparently Ten Hag wants Antony and Gakpo because he can play Gakpo through the middle and he can also play him off the wing, and it gives him fluidity. Memphis is cheaper, but it's not what Ten Hag wants. So again, this desperation comes back into United and the way that we run the club. The white away kit is clean and I still haven't bought it. Every Instagram post I say Glazers out, says Butterpants. We have to get the fan base, we have to get them out. And people don't realise if you create chances for Ronaldo, he's scoring 90% of them. The problem is in our midfield. Matt, I felt that yesterday we created nothing, absolutely nothing. It was poor. It was really poor in the final third. I thought the defence was magnificent, and I think that through the middle we were okay. It was almost like, have you ever seen those ice lollies you can get? You used to be able to buy them in a block when I was a kid, and you've got chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry, and you used to get a slab of it like that, and basically it was just, they were separated into little 3 squares, and it was just chocolate ice cream, vanilla in the middle, and then pink strawberry on there. Now, that's what I felt like United were yesterday. Chocolate ice cream, loved it. Defence, really good. Vanilla, bit vanilla, but, I quite like it. And then strawberry up front, God, I can't stand it. It's horrible, horrible. And I think that was United's performance yesterday. It was in 3 stages. The back 5 were excellent. The midfield was reasonably good. And then up front, I thought we were poor. And but that's why we won the game, because if we'd have been poor at the back, we would have lost. And actually, I just wanted to say this as well. We need 3 more players. Winger in place of Elanga. Striker could have taken 2 chances missed by Bruno. Midfielders to make in top 4, says Mohit. I do just want to say this. We talk about this all the time, and it's very, very clear to me, yet again. And I just before we do this as well, let me just show you this as well, because I've got my Bruno t-shirt on, and it came in very well yesterday, didn't it? And we're going to talk about Memphis now. So that's not what I show you. We're going to talk about Memphis now. So I just want to show you, link in the description for this, or you can just go to United Stand Shopify. This is our shop where you can get delivered worldwide, loads of hoodies and t-shirts and stuff. But our new design, he was man of the match yesterday, the Butcher of Manchester t-shirt, there it is, and you can get yours delivered. Look at the design on that, absolutely fantastic. I've got mine on order, I haven't got it yet, to be fair, but if you want to get one of those, you can go through the link in the description, United Stand Shopify, search it out, and we do ship worldwide with those. But just talking about Martinez, let me just say this. I saw and got sent stuff yesterday about Martinez, and he's not going to be good enough, and this, that, and the other. And here we have it. Here we have it yet again. The clear bias when it's British players and non-British players. Basically, why Martinez is getting criticised is because of the same reason they went for De Gea over and prioritised Dean Henderson 18 months ago. They want the English players to be better than the foreign players. And I don't know whether it's because they want them to play for England or whether it's just biased because of this. But the Martinez scapegoating has been exposed marvellously by his magnificent performance yesterday and against Liverpool. And I quite like, I mean, it's only coming from a place of they want Maguire in the team. Now, people will talk to me about how our points accumulation with Maguire and without Maguire shows that we're better with Maguire. But hold on a minute, we've got a new manager. Erik Ten Hag is the manager. He's only had 4 Premier League games. So the only stats that matter are With Maguire, 0 points and 6 goals conceded. Without Maguire, Martinez and Varane, 100% win record, 1 goal conceded in 2 games. And you could say the same about Bruno as captain. Maguire's had 2 games as captain with Ten Hag, he's lost them both. Bruno's had captain twice under Ten Hag and he's won them both. So the stats are staring us in the face with a new manager. No point going back to talking about Maguire under Ollie, he's gone. Maguire under Rangnick, he's gone. So this bias, and it's not just with Martinez, but this bias that comes out about Martinez is too small, he's going to get exposed by Haaland. Well, Haaland's probably going to expose 99% of the centre-backs in the world because he's world class. The reality is, Firmino was shite against United, absolutely shit. And I know Bournemouth aren't very good, but yesterday I think he scored, I don't know, he got a load of assists and he scored a couple of goals. So, hold on a minute. Firmino's not useless, pocketed. And as for Southampton yesterday, he had 5 aerial duels and he won all 5 of them. He won more aerial duels than Varane, who's taller than him and very good in the air. He had more interceptions than anybody on the pitch. In fact, aerial duels, he was up there with that Bola Ketchup, who I thought was fantastic for Southampton and dominant in the air. So this nonsense that Martinez is too small, we spoke about this in the summer. His aerial ability for his height is unbelievable. And I feel like we're going back down the old road again of Fabio Cannavaro, who is the only defender in the last 20 years to win a Ballon d'Or is Fabio Cannavaro of Italy. Won a World Cup as well. Same height as Martinez. Puyol, brilliant in the air for Barcelona, 5'10". So it's just this. I get tired of it, and I'm sure you do as well. There is a bias, and it's completely because he's foreign and he's not British, and they want a British player to be playing at the back because that's what they want. Unfortunately for these people, you've got to expose the fact that our back 5 has got no British players in it. It's got a Spanish lad, it's got a Portuguese lad, it's got a Dutch lad, it's got an Argentinian, and it's got a French lad. And the communication between that back 5 is the best communication we've seen in a long time. They respect, communicate and organise each other, and we suddenly have got a very good defence. And the coincidence is because we've taken the British players out. And people don't want... I'm British, I'm English. But I've known there's a problem with British players for a very long time. And I liken it to this. Boxing is a professional sport. You go in a boxing ring and mess about, you'll get knocked out. You've got to train hard, you've got to communicate, you've got to be focused, you've got to concentrate. And I feel that our back 5 at the moment are like professional boxers. Football is their profession. They're not leaking stuff to journalists. They're not on WhatsApp groups with journalists. They're not looking at their PR. They're footballers. Rafael Varane is a professional footballer. Martinez is a professional footballer. That's what they do. And we're benefiting from a back 5 that is focused and trusts each other. British players, they remind me of the WWE. It's entertaining, but it's all about your brand. And I think United's British contingent need to take a long, hard look in the window and look at why United are doing well at the moment. It's because they're footballers. It's the Juan Mata thing. Juan Mata was criminally underused by Manchester United, but he was a professional footballer. Juan Mata, his profession was football. That's what he was there to do. And yes, he did a bit of brand work, a bit of charity work. Of course he did, but he was a professional footballer. He was the quintessential foreign player that came into the Premier League. It was a bit like Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger started this off, this professional approach to football. Get rid of the lager louts and, the PR and all that bollocks and focus on what you're meant to be. And United's back 5 is suddenly very professional, very organised and very focused. And I think too many of Man United's British players have become distracted. It's about the brand. It's about playing for Manchester United. It's about who's getting more than you. It's about being, constantly attached to the leaks from the dressing room. It's mainly the British players that get accused. And I'm not necessarily saying they are leaks, but what we do know is a lot of the British players, because they're British, have good relationships with the British journalists. So they do get accused. Professionalism needs to come into that club. Erik ten Hag's a professional. I don't know whether he stumbled on this back 5 or whether he's done it by design, But he's got something good going on there at the moment. So I will defend Martinez and this nonsense coming from the British media that he's too small. They're trying to target him. And I guarantee you, the next goal we concede, where a cross comes in, they'll expose it and go, I told you he was too small. But they will forget games like yesterday, where from 5 aerial duels, he won all 5 of them. So he can't be crap in the air, can he? He won more aerial duels than Varane, who's bigger than him and good in the air. So put some respect on his name. A lot of people gave man of the match to him yesterday, but we need to call this out because I can see a situation where they'll try and destabilise our football club by targeting Martinez because he's not British, and this happens too much. And as you know, people can say that's nonsense or not, but we see it way, way too often at Manchester United. And look, Luke Shaw's a good player, Harry Maguire's a good player, Victor Lindelof's a good player, but they're going to have to wait for their chance now. And they will get a chance. Like, we're playing twice a week until the World Cup now. So Europa League, Carabao Cup, they'll get their chance and they've got to play well in those games. That's their opportunity. But this has been long overdue for players to be dropped from that team who deserve to be dropped for a very, very long time. And I would acknowledge that, you know, I loved Bruno's performance yesterday and hopefully he can improve. It was a great goal. But I would say that this guy is probably lucky. Very lucky to not be dropped. And if I was Maguire and Shaw, I'd probably be sat there going, Bruno's bloody lucky not to have been dropped. He's been crap like us for a long time as well. But we don't know what goes on in training. We don't know what the relationships are like. But, you know, I would acknowledge Bruno's probably been lucky not to be dropped up until yesterday. And he was good against Liverpool as well. But he didn't get dropped and he has improved. And that's the opportunity that I still think Luke Shaw can push Malacia if he gets his form back. And I still think Maguire will play a lot of games because I worry about Varane's fitness. So, you know, these players have just got to look at... The last thing we want is bitterness. We don't want to see players sat there mumbling on the bench about injustice and they should be playing. Everybody can see that Ten Hag is correct to drop Lindelof, Maguire and Luke Shaw. Because that defence has never looked so good. In the last 2 games, it's never looked so good. And those players cannot be moaning or being toxic. They've just got to swallow it up and go, I want to leave, or, you know what, I deserve to be dropped. I'm going to take my opportunity when it comes. And this is what we've been crying out for at this football club for years. For years. The favouritism in that football club has been going on for too long, and we need to see it. And look, many people will say, well, we need to get McTominay out as well. McTominay was okay. I thought I gave McTominay a 6.5 against Liverpool, and I think I gave him a 6.5 yesterday. No, I gave him a 7 yesterday. He's been getting 3s and 4s. So there's an improvement in him. And maybe it is because Casemiro's in the team. But, you know, ultimately McTominay needs to drop out of that team. Of course he did. But he wasn't bad yesterday. And he wasn't bad against Liverpool. So, you know, credit where it's due. He's still very limited as a footballer. But he was okay in that game yesterday. And it was better than okay. So let's see what he does against Leicester. Anything on Wan-Bissaka leaving, Mark? I can't see us replacing him, and with games coming thick and fast, I don't think we can afford to lose a right back. Joshua, I think we're going to run out of time on the right back. Absolutely 100%. A right back was a priority for Erik Ten Hag, but the problem is he's going to be hindered like Mourinho and Van Gaal before him and Ollie to a certain extent. They've not sold any players. Man United can't buy him a right back. Odin, welcome to the Members Club. We can't buy him a right back because Brandon Williams is still here. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is here. So he's got 2 right backs that were meant to be sold to allow him to buy a right back. This is what I don't like about United. A new manager gets hindered by the past. He should have got a right back this summer, but he can't have one because United can't sell him. And you could write a book on the incompetency of Manchester United's summer. We let Pogba go for nothing. That was 40 million. We let Lingard go for nothing. That was 20 million. So 60 million just walked out the door, whether you like those players or not. We've only sold Pereira. We've still got Twan Sebi, Phil Jones. That's 2 centre-backs. If we'd got rid of them, maybe we could have got another centre-back in. We've still got Williams and Wan-Bissaka. That's going to cost us getting a right back in. It's been we're going to massively overpay for Antony too late in the window. Ronaldo might leave right at the end of the window. It's been an absolute catastrophe this summer transfer window, and fair play for Erik Ten Hag that amongst this catastrophe he's managed to build a back 5 that has got us 2 wins, because that's not an easy thing to do. If the Glazers are really going to spend 200 million more on Osimhen and Antony, shouldn't we then be getting Frenkie de Jong? We're not going to do that, Mojo. Hi, Mark. Is there any chance that Casemiro could end up like Schweinsteiger? They do come from the same backgrounds and same age group. He hasn't got the same injury profile, though, George. And We've basically taken a Champions League first team player from Real Madrid, whereas I think Schweinsteiger was, as much as I loved that deal, he was surplus to requirements and injury prone. I think Shaw will struggle to get his place back now. Malacia is way more vocal, quicker, and passing is better, says Reece Smith. Well, that's what I mean. That's why I want to give Erik ten Hag some credit, because this has been a very chaotic summer transfer window, and he's built a back four and made it. I'm confident in that back four. It will concede goals because everybody concedes goals. But he's built a back five that I'm very confident with. And he bought Malacia and he bought Martinez. So he's actually constructed that back four. Is the Glazer out campaign still going? Yes, it is, Stephen. Of course it is. It's not going to... Of course it is. You know, of course it is. And you shouldn't have to answer that question, because nobody should be holding your hands to be Glazers out. You shouldn't have to ask if Glazer out campaign's still going. It's got to live in you. You've got to wake up every day and say, I'm Glazers out. You don't need someone to hold your hand. You're the one who's got to not buy a Man United shirt with Antony or Casemiro on the back. You're the one who's got to make your own. This is why the Glazers out movement will fall apart. Is because people are like, oh, is it still going on then? It's got to be a living fire in you. You've got to wake up every day and say your Glazers out. You can't be led. You've got to make your own mind up. You've got to lead it, and it is still going anyway. So Dubravka's going to come to Man United, by the way. I forgot to tell you about that. There was a... Oh, come on. I mean, I've got no interest in this, as you can tell, but there was an update about it. Yes, it was for Romano again. Busy morning. Personal terms agreed for Martin Dubravka. Manchester United are offering $5 million as a loan fee, but Newcastle prefer to push for a permanent sale. Martin hopes Newcastle will let him take this big opportunity. No real interest in this, to be honest with you. I mean, I find backup goalkeepers quite boring to buy anyway. I wish we'd bought Trapp. I wanted us to buy a goalkeeper that was going to actually challenge De Gea. Maybe Dubravka will, but again, I mean, if you're looking to replace David De Gea, you don't buy Martin Dubravka, do you? Like, if we should have just bought a goalkeeper that can push David De Gea. That's what we should have done. That's what most people want. They want De Gea to be challenged, and I think we're just getting a lone goalkeeper into playing the Europa League, maybe. So the Trapp chat was crap. He rejected us, Mark, apparently. Neapolitan ice cream is what we was talking about, Taliher. Thank you very much for that. So he was Newcastle's goalkeeper last season, and he's reasonable, but he's not honestly going to become Man United's number one, is he? Let's be honest. He might take De Gea out this year, but we'll still be looking for a goalkeeper next year, or we'll be bringing Henderson back. I don't know. It's a stopgap, basically. It's a stopgap. And I don't think you can have too many stopgaps for a new manager. And I think the goalkeeping situation is a stopgap. I think the striker we get in is going to be a stopgap. I think we're not going to get a right back, so that's not even a stopgap. There's too many areas in that team where I think that Erik ten Hag has not been helped out. But Antony will happen. I'm convinced about that. And my nose is starting to run. I don't know why. I haven't even got a tissue. Spontaneous. I think I'm having some sort of an allergy to this goalkeeper. As soon as I started talking about Dubravka, my nose starts to run and I get a tickly throat. He's killing me. I'm having an allergic reaction. What's going on? Anyway, I better end the show before I get into any more trouble here. I might start choking in a minute. No, not Dubravka. Anyway, look, yeah, links in the chat. Or go to United Stand Shopify. We've got our new T-shirt out for the man of the match yesterday. Fantastic design. Available in all sizes. And you can get it delivered to your door because we do ship worldwide. We've got lovely things as well. I mean, this is still my favourite. But how long will he be at the club? The class hoodie. I've got it in white as well. I have actually got it in white. But I suppose it's a collector's item when he goes. But yeah. Sad, but I think the writing might be on the wall for Ronaldo. We will get Antony. I'm convinced of it. We'll just pay too much money for him at the end of the day. Thanks everyone for watching. Smash a like on the video. Today we've got the fan forum, of course. That'll be tonight at I think it's 7 o'clock as usual. I'm on TalkSport at 8 o'clock with the Transfer Hub. That'll be live on YouTube as well. Last Transfer Hub on TalkSport, so it'll be a good show. And I'm doing Nottingham Forest versus Spurs at 4 o'clock on That's Football as a watch along. So obviously we'll go live if any transfer news happens. And thanks everyone for watching. Please subscribe, bottom right hand corner, smash a like on the video. I'll speak to you all in a bit.